The road to the 2020 Kentucky Derby continues. Let's take a look. Part 1 of the Kentucky Derby Future Wager. Of course, Pool 1 closed in November at Churchill Downs, as you could wager on the 2020 Kentucky Derby. And this time around, we've got some new shooters. 10 new shooters have been lined up for Pool number 2. Of course, wagering starts this weekend and ends on Sunday. Let's take a look in alphabetical order of the new shooters, starting with Chance It. Of course, he battled all the way around with As Seen on TV. Next up for Chance It, it looks like it's going to be the Fountain of Youth, although there is a small chance he could go to Tampa Bay. Enforceable, the big winner of the Leone Stakes, kind of gutted out a victory, came from off the pace as the pace kind of collapsed some of the front runners. And Enforceable, the full brother to Mohe Men, he's a new shooter in Pool 2. Looks like he is going to have a morning line of 30-1. Kind of a long shot, Exalted, who ran second to the highly rated Nadal in a maiden special weight race at Santa Anita. He's still a maiden, has not ran since running second to Nadal. And Exalted is going to be listed in Pool number 2. You'll probably be able to get all the 50-1 on Exalted. Gold Street, the winner of the Smarty Jones Stakes at Oaklawn Park, he is new to Pool 2, listed at 30-1. And Max Player, the upset winner of the Withers Stakes this past Saturday at the Big A Aqueduct, he is now going to be pointing for the Wood Memorial. Whether or not he runs in the Gotham remains to be seen, but he's kind of a long-winded stayer, so maybe just the longer distances could be some of the key races for Max Player to take a look at this spring. Nadal, we already talked about him, trained by Bob Baffert. He broke his maiden in a very fast speed figure. He had his first workout back on Tuesday, went 4 furlongs at Santa Anita, and he is listed in Pool number 2. His morning line is 12-1. Palm Springs, a maiden special weight victory at Gulfstream Park for Todd Pletcher. The third impressive maiden special weight horse he has debuted at the meet, including the filly Spice is Nice. This one, Palm Springs, got the job done in his second lifetime start. He ran second in his debut race. And of course, Pletcher usually likes to stick around Gulfstream and Tampa Bay, but he occasionally does bring a horse to the Rebel or the Southwest. So I think all options are on the table for a horse like Palm Springs. He's been bet down to favoritism in both of his starts. Premier Star, a fast race winner, his most recent race. He skipped the Holy Bull on Saturday. Looks like he's going to continue to point for the Fountain of Youth, although a small chance he'll be running this Saturday at the Sam F. Davis as he was nominated for the Sam F. Davis. Silver State ran in the Leone Stakes, lost to Enforceable. He is going to be pointed for the Risen Star on February the 15th. Well-bred son of Hardspun, trained by Steve Asmussen. Silver State, 50-1 on the morning line for Pool number 2, Kentucky Derby Future Wagers. And rounding out the 10th of the new shooters, it's going to be Violent City. Another long shot, going to be sitting, got a couple of options. I don't know. I think the trainer on that one, Ian Wilkes, is going to be a little bit conservative. I wouldn't see him pointed for a final prep like the Bluegrass if they want to go that route. Still not sold that his pedigree screams 9 furlongs, even 10 furlongs for a horse like Violent City. So some interesting horses included. I think the most interesting one is Exalted. Rather than going for some of the proven second and third place finishers, Churchill Downs opted for some more longer shots here and some horses to maybe take a chance on, like Nadal, Palm Springs, even Silver State, and Exalted. Gold Street, again, his pedigree seems to be a little bit more sprinty by Street Boss, and he also took advantage of a front-running victory on a sloppy track in his most recent race, and a lot of times those are the horses that you bet against in their next start. That's a look at Kentucky Derby Future Wager Part 1, the 10 new shooters. Who do you like of the new shooters? Which ones are you going to consider wagering? Smash that like button and leave a subscription. Ring that bell for all notifications. We'll have Part 2 of Kentucky Derby Future Wagering Pool number 2, and that'll be coming up on Thursday. And should be interesting. Pool number 2, of course, it starts this Friday, goes through Sunday. and Kentucky Derby Future Wagering. Of course, Pool 3, you'll get a chance to play some of those Oaks Derby doubles, and Pool number 4 in early April, right before they do the final preps and then go into the Kentucky Derby. Still a lot to be determined in the next 90 days leading up to the 2020 Kentucky Derby.